Hi. Recently, I had someone call me, and a young person who is working in a services firm, great credentials, great pedigree, doing exceedingly well, but absolutely in tears. And the long and short of the story is here is a person who's carrying a lot of weight disproportionate to his seniority, his experience. The person is very good at what he does, and there are many peers, many seniors at least in tenure and experience, who are not carrying their weight enough. And they work with a leader who possibly came across as both lacking in substance and also possibly poor in the ability to lead and inspire. The person was in tears, and he asked me, what should I do? Now, this is a situation which is not atypical. Many of us have seen in our careers some very, very bright and smart youngsters. It is very good and correct and apt to give them more, stretch them more, because that's how they will grow, that's how they will develop. Reward them a little disproportionately, track them faster, which in this case is possibly not happening because the cultural ethos of this setup is about following a certain vintage protocol like the government. Now, the challenge, therefore, the leadership challenge that we need to think through is, where is the problem? Does the leader have a huge blind spot? Does he or she not understand that by pushing and overloading a person 24/7, 7 days a week, almost 365 days a year, you're possibly creating burnout, you're getting tears in this young hypo's eyes, to a point that the person has decided he will move. It's a matter of now choosing the time, and you losing the talent altogether. So how can leadership be so ignorant, be so defiant? What's the role of HR? Does the HR even know? Does HR even have a position of substance to pick up and to influence a change? What are they doing about such a situation? The role of running with average peers and average relative seniors. How does mediocrity impact people who are great talent? Will they want to continue working with mediocre people where everything comes finally onto you? The risks of burnout, the risks of depression, the risks of who owns this responsibility? How can the company only be looking at squeezing every bit out of that one person? It has been a very disturbing story when I heard it, and I honestly think this is what I believe is crisis of leadership. And in this particular organization, I know there is no investment in coaching leaders, there is no investment in developing people. It's just the guy who gets in more revenues is the guy who gets tracked and finally gets to positions of certain substance. Is this the culture that will ever be able to keep and sustain great talent? What would an exiting employee like this person talk about this company and its culture? What does it do to its employer brand? How does HR bring these issues up, if at all it does? Why does it choose to abdicate its role? What do promoters and the top leadership, how do they evaluate and measure performance of these so-called senior leaders? Is it ever discussed in a conversation? What does it speak, therefore, about the wholesomeness of institutional leadership? I honestly don't have answers today. I have only questions. And I hope these questions, which I'm sure are not unique to this case, will get many of us, whether we are HR, we are leaders, we are promoters, we are the board, get up and think beyond just tracking your business numbers. you owe your future a better legacy than otherwise what we will leave them with. Take care.